Today I'm going to show you a couple of videos relating to AI and robotics. Some will be fake and some will be real.
It's bigger than you can possibly imagine. Subscribe so you don't miss it.
The first one is this one by HeyGen. I had a feeling this company is going to go big. And right now they're available, they're just rolling out on the iOS. You can now create these mind-blowing AI avatar videos right from your phone. Thanks to Min Choi for posting this. He's part of the Rundown AI crew. So first and foremost, if you're not familiar, HeyGen generates these video avatars. You can give it text and it would generate audio and video. You can give it audio and it would generate the video for it. We've been using it quite a bit on this channel, not to animate me or anything like that, contrary to what some of you believe. But prior to this, you had to have a little bit of a know-how. You had to go online, you had to go onto the website, just know a little bit about how to generate it. Now that it's available on the iOS, things are about to get a whole lot simpler. Take a listen to this.
Stop what you are doing because I've got big news. HeyGen is now available on iOS. It doesn't matter if you're creating content for TikTok, YouTube, or just something fun for your audience. Now you've got the power of the most advanced avatar and video translation tech literally in your pocket. Imagine this. You're holding your iPhone and in just a few taps, you can create lifelike avatars that look and feel so real it's mind-blowing. But it gets better. With HeyGen, you can translate your videos into over 175 languages. Like, how cool is that? So, what are you waiting for? Go download the HeyGen iOS app right now and start creating.
We've tested some of the translations into different languages on this channel. The feedback I got was that a lot of the sort of European languages, for example, sounded terrific, like phenomenal. I received some feedback from friends that, for example, Vietnamese and Thai translations were not quite up to par, but maybe they have improved since then. So here's that app in the App Store, HeyGen AI Avatar Generator. If you're curious, you can download that, sign in, click Avatar Video, choose Avatar. There's tons that are pre-selected. In the app, you can actually train a model on your own sort of images, on your own either images and have it animate the image, or you can upload a bunch of video and then you can kind of generate whatever you want with your own voice, with your own face that talks and in any language really, which is pretty cool. And it does sound exactly like your voice and your speech mannerisms and everything else. I mean, it feels a little bit off sometimes because it'll kind of twitch and do these weird stuff. You can kind of notice it with the, like with this gal right here in the first few seconds, she does this little weird, I don't even know what to call it, AI artifact. You can kind of tell it's generated. Notice how her face gets a little bit out of sync. There's this little thing that she does between words.
Imagine this. You're holding your iPhone and in just a few taps.
Imagine this. That I've noticed that happens quite a bit. I'm not sure exactly what that is. They tend to make certain facial expressions if the audio pauses. But you can add a script or audio input, select the voice, click submit, and you are done. Javid Alam is asking, when is it coming to Android? And here's what you have to understand, Javid. You and I, the Android users, we are second-class citizens. In the hierarchy of life, we are less than. We get things later. If you're an Apple user, you are sort of a superior and raised up, and you get everything faster and better, and you got to get used to that. The second video is this, and this one's very, very real. This is, of course, from Figure AI. Now, we've talked about them getting a contract with BMW, the Bavarian Motorworks company, BMW, and their sort of like manufacturing facilities, where the Figure 02 is now an autonomous fleet, operating the end-to-end use case 400 times faster with a 7x higher success rate. And keep in mind, these guys are working for OpenAI. They've demoed some of the voice features where the robot is able to talk back and forth. So they're using some sort of a customized OpenAI model. I don't know if these specific robots are with the BMW, but they had a demo where they did that. And so there's some sort of partnership there. And also they have some of the talent from Google and their robotics team that I think crossed over. So certainly they're going big. Love to see it. Let's take a look at this video they just posted in the last 24 hours, I think. Here's Brett Adcock. So he's the founder of the company Figure AI. In one of the recent tweets, he said, things are getting real. And yeah, it sure seems that way. Impressive how good those robots are moving, where the robot is able to take that plate and sort of put it over the little protrusions, the bolts or whatever it's supposed to go on. I've had certain mornings back in my college days where I would not be able to do that. But take a look at this. So this seems like they have a few of the same shots, but the ending is a little bit different. This one is also without sound. And this part seems like it's the same, but then they got this sort of a final shot of the robot tracking the camera, which is pretty cool. And here they're explaining why this is kind of a big deal. So 1,000 placements a day, long horizon tasks using vision only. Learn behaviors for very precise, less than 1 centimeter sheet metal insertions. Requires intense engineering across multiple disciplines. So as you can see here, it kind of lines it up and it opens up its pinky first, and it slowly lowers it onto the metal insertion, as they refer to it as. That's pretty cool, I gotta say. The interesting thing about this is, so when they're saying vision only, like what does that mean? I guess it could mean a couple different things. I mean, it could mean that it's not pre-programmed, but I think what they're saying here is that up to very, very recently, and these companies probably still exist, they had companies that would produce various sensors, things that would get robots better than human vision using some sort of lasers or some sort of other sensing technology, sonar, whatever. Like there was a lot of different ideas about how to give robots sort of better ability to sense and perceive their environment. And a lot of those companies got great funding. It seemed in retrospect, or I guess without 2020 vision looking backwards, it seemed like it was a great idea if robotics are rising up, if there's going to be more and more robots. Certainly the company that's outfitting them with various extra cool sensors and laser vision and, having sort of better vision than humans are capable of, certainly that would be a good idea, right? It would give them sort of a leg up. But from a lot of research that we've seen, that we've talked about on this channel, so more and more, a lot of these robots are being trained on vision. But more and more, we're seeing that a lot of these robots, they're being trained on video. And more recently, we've even seen some stuff out of NVIDIA where they have the stuff that sort of like just simulates people doing stuff. So then those almost like video game footage can be given to the robot neural nets to get trained on, making kind of a lot of these like extra sensors that we thought would be so cool for robots, making them kind of useless because they're getting trained on basically exactly the same thing that you and I see. Right, so think about if you're going over to the sink to wash a cup, right? Your hand reaches over, picks up a cup, and then it like washes the cup. You seeing your hand movements in the sink, that is the data, the training data for the robot to then learn how to wash a cup. And it will also see almost the exact same thing when it's doing it. Giving it X-ray vision or whatever, it doesn't really help because there's no data on that. There's not as much data on that as there is on, regular sort of human vision that we capture through cameras, etc. Also, this is how they pre-announced this rolling out this new video, which, I like. Here you go, sir. Here's that kind of data training that I've been talking about. So big thanks to Dr. Jim Fan, senior AI researcher at NVIDIA, who reposted this. So how can we scale up humanoid data acquisition with minimal human effort? Well, we make the robots do it in a simulation. Here's 1 million robots doing various household tasks, such as washing the dishes and putting stuff away into boxes. So human teleoperation, this is how a lot of them do it initially to collect the data. So humans standing there with those VR goggles and kind of like walking the robot through how to do it. And, in certain cases, you see it learning to generalize, right? If that's what they're going for, to generalize how to, for example, if you take chairs and you scooch them into under the desk, so to speak, it's able to kind of figure out how to go about doing that. It doesn't have to be the exact same chair, the exact same desk. It'll kind of generalize and be able to do it. But obviously that takes time. You got to have somebody with a VR headset and those little controllers. But here we're able to, this project is called DexMimicGen. So it's a large-scale automated data generation system that synthesizes trajectories from a few human demonstrations for humanoid robots with dexterous hands. All right, so you have a person that shows the robot with those VR goggles how to put the cup away. Looks like, they start with maybe 5 source demos, right? And then this DexMimicGen, the system generates 1,000 demos. So 1,000 sort of these data points that then get used to train the robots how to do that thing. But of course, this data doesn't require lasers or X-ray vision or anything like that. It's basically our sort of human vision, whatever we're able to see. This is how the computers perceive it through regular video cameras. Next, you might have had days like this where you had to be on camera presenting either school or work or whatever, and you just didn't want to be on camera. Maybe you had a huge zit on your nose, but you had to sit there and do it like this gentleman right here. Here's him giving his little presentation. Let's take a listen.
As you can see, I'm currently participating in a Zoom call.
He is.
But what if I tell you that I'm actually not in front of a cam right now?
What?
And this is an AI-generated live screen that moves in sync with my voice. Pickle generates real-time video of talking you based on your audio inputs, which can be streamed directly to Zoom.
Back in days, people would think they're so clever if they didn't wear pants during these Zoom calls. Now they can, well, actually, let's not think about it. One very interesting thing that I learned from the Neuralink patient, the Neuralink project where they had a patient that was unable, who was a quadriplegic, was not able to move anything beyond, lower than his neck. He got installed with a Neuralink and was able to operate the computer. Was able to move the mouse and play games. Was he playing Civilization, I believe, was one of the favorites. And Mario Kart, he was pretty good at Mario Kart. And how he described doing that was sort of he just would do certain things with his mind, right? That would have a certain signature that would slowly get picked up and this model would get trained. Okay, so this means move the mouse this way, right? And so over time, as he kept doing that and moving the cursor and the model got better at understanding what he was trying to do, there's sort of different models trained different ways, some more accurate, some less accurate. But the point is we can attach a certain thought or a concept or an emotion, something that we do inside our heads that has a certain signature that's able to be picked up and then move a physical object out there in the world, right? So here we're controlling a robot arm at Meta's hackathon with only mind control. So she's operating it, she's saying she's imagining certain concepts like getting angry. And they have 4 controls: opening, closing, and moving up and down. And so this is grip mind. Take a look at this.
A couple of seconds, maybe let's try to take it up and bring it up. And 3, 2, and more fast. Drop it.
Wow. Very great.
And the cool thing is that
Can you imagine controlling an army of robots with your mind? Agreed. In other news, you might have recalled that OpenAI initially, they were saying that the advanced voice mode is going to have what initially looked like just live video streaming where you can point your phone at something and it would look at that video and be able to explain to you what's happening to kind of react to the video. Now, if I remember correctly, at some point they corrected it. It wasn't reacting to the video, actually. It was sort of just taking screenshots of your camera and reacting to those still images. But of course, we haven't heard anything about that for quite some time. Advanced voice mode rolled out to all the paid users on the desktop. So for a lot of the users on the phones, or maybe it was like everybody at this point. But we still haven't seen the live camera, the video feature, however you want to refer to it as, because it's not, I don't believe it's technically video, but it simulates, as if it's reacting to whatever video you have on your phone, to whatever you're showing on camera. And it looks like there's some code in one of the new releases that are going to be coming up that they're adding this functionality. All right, so we have this description where you can tap the camera icon to let the ChatGPT view and, assuming interact with kind of what you're talking about. Here's a video that shows what that might look like. Now, I recall seeing this way back in the day. So this has got to be an older video, but I think at the time it accidentally went out to some of the users. I'm pretty sure this is real, but it's not brand new. But take a look at what we think this is going to look like. And I mean, the advanced mode, voice mode and everything, it looks legit. It looks like it's really doing what it claims to be doing.
Okay, so we just got a new kitten. I want to show you the spot that we made for her. Let me activate the camera.
Oh, look at that little bundle of fluff. That setup looks super cozy for her. How's she settling in so far?
Well, she hasn't eaten yet. Do you think that's concerning?
It can be normal for kittens to take a little time to adjust to a new environment. So if it's just been a day, she might still be getting comfortable. Have you noticed her drinking water or exploring her new space?
Well, she's never really left the bathroom yet, but she has water, she has food, and a little cozy space in the litter, so hopefully she will come out soon.
It sounds like you're giving her a great setup to feel secure. She's probably just taking her time to get used to everything. Once she feels more confident, I'm sure she'll start venturing out.
Once the little kitten starts feeling more comfortable around you, it will start plotting the revenge, figuring out good spots to ambush you, as well as your daily routines and habits. And so this is Rowan Chang posting this. So it looks like Project Astra, which was Google's version of it, they also announced it at the Google I.O., still has not gone live yet. So maybe he's saying that maybe OpenAI is waiting until they launch theirs to kind of preemptively launch it a day or two in advance. As OpenAI tends to do, of course. Here was Project Astra. So this is Google's version of OpenAI's live video, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, let's do some tests. Tell me when you see something that makes sound.
I see a speaker, which makes sound.
What is that part of the speaker called?
That is the tweeter. It produces high-frequency sounds.
Give me a creative alliteration about these.
Creative crayons color cheerfully. They certainly craft colorful creations.
What does that part of the code do?
This code defines encryption and decryption functions. It seems to use AES-CBC encryption to encode and decode data based on a key and an initialization vector, IV.
That would be pretty cool.
That's right. What neighborhood do you think I'm in?
This appears to be the King's Cross area of London. It is known for its railway station and transportation connections.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
What can I add here to make this system faster?
Adding a cache between the server and database could improve speed.
What does this remind you of?
Schrodinger's cat.
All right, give me a band name for this duo.
Golden Stripes.
Nice. Thanks, Gemini.
I would have went with Snots and Stripes. And finally, there's this. I probably should not play this video, but I was kind of blown away by the details that they have in it. It features, we've got Putin, we've got Elon Musk, we have Mark Zuckerberg. So it kind of goes through this lady, Hillary, hanging out with the homies. I'm not going to play the sound because I don't know if that's going to trigger anything, because I feel like the song behind it is worse than the video. But I just wanted to kind of show you what is possible now with AI. So these are the Door brothers who've created some pretty amazing stuff with AI in the past. We've showcased a few of these things. But let me try to figure out if I can actually play the music or not. And whatever the case, I'll play the video for you. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.
Say blood thicker than water. But what about the tears, though? Dinner table like a UN meeting, tension in the air. Got more beef than Gordon Ramsay, but we still all there. Christmas photos looking perfect, Instagram deceiving, but behind them filtered smiles. Some hearts still grieving. Got a brother like Kane, but I ain't trying to able out. Every argument we have feels like a bailout. Mom playing referee since '93. Between me and Pops, man, that's ancient history like hieroglyphics. Our problems prehistoric, but that old man taught me chess. Now my moves more strategic. They say I got his temper, his pride is strong chin. Looking in the mirror like, damn, I'm turning into him. Remember breaking curfew, climbing through windows. Now I'm catching my own kid. Life's funny how it goes, full circle like a family ring. Passed down generations, building bridges over troubled conversations. Grandma's recipe book, more valuable than gold. Each page got a story that's never been told, like how she fed a family of 8 on minimum wage. Now I'm tearing up, just flipping through the page. Uncle went to war, came back different, they say, but every Sunday dinner, man, he still leads the prey. Cousin on the West Coast, live in Hollywood, but when auntie got sick, first flight back to the hood. They say home is where the heart is, mine scattered like ashes, cross country in pieces, but we still match like patches on grandma's old quilt. Yeah, we come apart, but somehow find our way back to the start. DNA deeper than features, it's how we carry